direction. And I think that's part of what this.
Now we're going to go over is how do you get your content out? And the answer is that you have to try multiple sources. I've got 4 sites. My scared.
One of the other areas of focus that we look at from GBI is we do community development through business incubation and acceleration. That is part of that is our focus, to create and empower a community, to create and empower people, to make sure that the investment that we have and the resources.
While sitting in the infirmary, you took and started looking at papers and research that his dad had given. Well, his dad was best friends with Frederick Douglass, his granddad, and his dad was born on the day that Frederick Douglass died. And so his name is Frederick Douglass McDonald. And I give you that because global business incubation, the concept of what it is, the vision of what it is, has a history that goes back many generations. And that history that Paul, his father, brought forward, put him on the track to do research. And the research was, how do you improve, how do you help the urban community economically? What are the kind of institutions that need to be in place? What are the kind of economic?
What we do is in our heads, and part of what Paul was actually talking about, the process, is getting you into the present. Why is the present so important? The present is important because the only resources that you have to do anything are right now. If they're not here now, then you can't do anything. Now, you may be able to get on the phone, you may be able to make a connection. The great thing about the internet and all of these other technologies that we have is that we can be now with people who are not in this room. But fundamentally, the connections that you get are the people that you're dealing with directly in the room. If you want to get something done, a project or whatever, you have to muster those resources and bring them to the table. And if there's anything that we can accomplish today, and I know there are a lot of people watching us on television, I'm referring to them. And
So they're in the now too.
We're in the now too. We're in the now too. And I will try to communicate with you as much as possible. But I'm looking forward to the networking that takes place here today, and learning more about what each of you do or what you have in engineering. And I'm proud to say I'm giving back from all the things that I've learned. I've done over $50 billion in projects and enterprises of various kinds over my 40-50 year career. And I've learned a lot. I've made a lot of mistakes.
and hung out with one of the SF groups over in San Antonio, 19th group, and I got picked up by a company called Siemens to run all their corporate security over in their headquarters in Munich. I got tired of doing that and thought it would be a good idea to come back here and hang my own shingle and start doing my own stuff. Jumped over from Munich with my family and our daughter. She was born in Germany, and even though she was born there, we still treat her like she's a real person. So that's important. We came back, started a company called Delta V Group, doing program management, construction management, that sort of thing, for a number of clients, one of which is San Diego Unified School District. And then I linked up with a guy named Ty Smith, who's a former SEAL. And great guy, and he actually had started a company called Vigilance Risk Solutions. And I said, hey, this is great. It sounds, you got a cool name. What do you do? And he said, we do active shooter and workplace violence stuff. And I'm like, you know what? That's speaking my language. I know all about that stuff.
military-connected family members, either to start their own business or grow an existing business. And because of the generous funding of the SBA, the VBOCs provide their services at no charge. And I'm a Navy veteran from a long time ago. People can, in the packets that you were all given, there is a postcard that describes our mission and our services, and we have a website. You can go to our website and that's it. You can go to our website and request our services, and we'll get you hooked up with one of my staff members or myself.
Could you repeat the website for people that are not here?
Yes, it is www.socal, so SOCAL, VBOC, V as in Victor, VOC.org.
And I'm Leah Nelson, and I'm here representing Veterans in Business Network. We are a veteran business networking organization to connect veteran businesses to other veteran businesses to do business, along with connecting them to the government and contractors, utilities, state government agencies to promote business being done. I'm a Navy veteran myself. I served 13 years in the Navy, and I also am a small business owner. What's that? Go for it.
She should have talked about that. An amazing conference this week. The VIB puts on a phenomenal conference every year. This was your second, if I recall.
Yes, it is.
And last year was in Palm Springs, and this year was at the Billboard.
Yeah. And
they really did it. It was a big event. So I want to give them credit. We're a similar organization. Structure.
Well, I was just going to say, our website is vibnetwork.org. So thank you. And next year our conference is in San Diego.
Yeah. I was going to plug it if you didn't. My name's William Osgood, and I am the director for the U.S. Veteran Business Alliance. Just became the national director yesterday. And the thing that's we're a collaborative partnership in a sense, but we're also kind of competing. So we have that spirit of competition between us, but at the same time, we're about the same objective, and that's helping veterans who are in business get government contracts. That has been our mission for 29 years, and we're really good at it. We have chapters all around the state of California. We have chapters in Texas, Washington, D.C., New York, and we're opening them up in Denver. I'll be in Denver this week to finish our Denver chapter, and then we have a couple in Florida as well. So we're a growing organization focused on California, and one of the things that's really amazing about the work that these organizations do that are serving veteran businesses is not only do we help the startup business, but we also mentor our very successful members with our startup companies. And one of the things that we're focused on right now is attracting new veterans who are in business. And we're seeing a real trend where our young veterans are moving into the business arena, and they don't want to work for somebody else. They want to work for themselves. And so we're giving them that leg up, and we'll partner them with an existing business that's very successful and help them to get through the hoops so that all the mistakes that we made over the years, we can help them avoid those mistakes and perhaps get a leg up and a jump up. So that's what we are, and I'm William Osgood, the director of it.
And how's your website going?
Well, it's GOUSVBA, Veteran Business Alliance, .org. So GOUSVBA.org.
Don't you love all the acronyms that keep flying around? I'm like VBO.
You haven't heard anything yet, right?
Our first question, and however you all want to answer first would be great, is, in your opinion, what do you think business networking is?
So I think a lot of people think about business networking in terms of going to a place, Chamber of Commerce, some of the events that some of the panelists have here, and connecting with the people that showed up at the event. But I think if you think about business networking, we're doing it every day. So it's basically in the course of what you do every day, reaching out and connecting with other veteran-owned businesses or other community resource partners.
The contact center, we were a fast growth tech company. Our contact center in Tempe, Arizona is about 2.5 years old, and we have over 400 people there. So how do you scale that up and have really high quality? One thing that we've done, which you might be surprised for a job board, we have referral bonuses for our employees. So when you find good employees, you reward them to bring their friends on board as well.
Business align with who you are, and then how do you make connections everywhere you go? Because a lot of times, I've had met clients not at an event, but doing something extracurricular or at a social event, and we just start talking about.
She got it.
Yes, I have a question for one second. I know it's gonna help everybody. 10 years ago, Colonel Brooks of Brooklyn called me.
Can't hear you.
10 years ago, Colonel Brooks called me in Master Studios and they gave me books. But I just wanted to ask you a question so you can tell everybody around, so we're the leaders for our corners. But FBO.gov, right? That's a site, Foxtrot Bravo, Foxtrot.gov. But we're talking about networking, like he's from Chicago, started business. I'm raised in the streets of Chicago too, right? So, but you can go on FBO.gov and you know the $4.4 trillion budget, you can get $1 billion a day. But we're talking about networking from everybody. So my question, Hazel, to you, to the executive director of the VA Business Enterprise. How can, if you go on FBO.gov, you have stuff like 113, logistics, commissary, PX, Fort Riley, Fort Knox, Fort Benning, coordination. But how would a young organization that want to get started, this young man back here, network and then do FBO.gov?
Can I give you a great example?
Yes, ma'am.
So we were at the VIB network event last.
Gives you the definition. It's building a net, right? It's building a net of people that are resources for both your business and for other businesses, and it's working that net. So it's not, you don't just, like Hazel said, I mean, you have
with different groups and different people, because to incubate the talent and skills within these kind of institutions, to begin to create the kind of wealth creation engines that are necessary to create jobs and opportunities so that more people can realize the American dream. So I thank you all for being here, participating in the leadership of Paul and others, Andrew, John, and I welcome you from my partners, Paul, Tony. And create opportunities in that urban community that I knew and I lived in. And my partner that I connected with showed me a vision of that business, that incubator that I needed. Because I was a mom and pop. I needed those other talents in order to do what I had in my heart. And so I came on board. What I didn't know was I was gonna have to catch that vision and help to create it. That was in 1987. I don't know where you were in 1987, but that's where I was. So I've been on this journey a long time. I had an afro, like my brother there, but it wasn't great. And I was,
and you have to value your time. And that's why you have to have a goal in mind when you start podcasting. And speaking of time, when you think about creating content, you should probably think about blending multiple things that you enjoy into one thing. For instance, I have another podcast that we're working on, and this one is with my wife. And the reason that I started this podcast is because I was doing so much in so many other realms that I wasn't bonding with my wife. And so I wanted to take two whole list that I provided on the Google Drive. But
are you selling something with this? You do the podcast, and how are you making your money out of it? I don't
so podcasts, if you start to build a following, you will absolutely make a lot of money because of advertisements, right? So it's a sense, this is a form of entertainment. Okay. If there's, and kind of getting off topic, but there's 3 shows in the media right now: Homecoming, Alex Inc.
But yeah, if you guys want help or suggestions or questions, just call me.
I will.
Is this yours?
Thank you.
Yeah, so this is Leigh. She's from the SBA, and she's going to talk to us about funding, financing, that sort of thing. Thank you for being here.
So, Administration is a federal agency. We have 68 district offices across the country. resources for businesses to start, grow, expand, and recover. I have some little pamphlets going around. This is the pamphlet for the Los Angeles District Office. This is our contact information, including our website.
Ecosystems and communities that, when focused with a single intent, can produce success and well-being and what I call, I guess, wealth. My idea of wealth is, yeah, I know it's nice having $1 billion, but personally, I'd much rather have the apples because then I can sell them for the $1 billion and I can also eat. One thing that some of the concepts that we deal with, it'd be nice. I can ask people, would you like to own a gold mine? And most people would say yes. And I'd say, well, versus a satellite. Now, me, I'd much rather own the satellite because I can throw that bird up in the air and just let it sit there and passively make income. But I got to keep mining the gold out of the mine all the time. So understanding the differences in those relationships, and also in those ecosystems and how to put
in 5th grade, and my wife received procurement for the state of California. My primary function is to help businesses understand how to do business with state government, and whenever possible, provide contacts that hopefully will lead to contracts for them.
Name again.
Michael.
Did you say Rogelio?
Agilio.
Oh, Agilio.
GBI Veterans Business Summit.
All that stuff.